22. 19th ranked Wisconsin battles a Big Ten foe this weekend. Team tips off against Iowa tomorrow afternoon from Carver Hawkeye Arena. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited Siding and a whole lot more. Also tomorrow afternoon, number 11 Marquette visits Creighton, Milwaukee, also on the road playing Cleveland State. Chiefs Eagles square off in Super Bowl 59 from Caesars Superdome on Sunday. Kansas City in uncharted territory in NFL history after becoming the first team to make 3 consecutive big game appearances. KC tried to become the only three-peat champion in the Super Bowl era. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Just a blocked shoulder. This is going to be a disabled vehicle off-right. I-41 south at Layton Avenue. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sun and clouds today, high of 30. Mostly cloudy today with a low of 25. Light snow tomorrow, less than an inch accumulation south of 94 to the north. Look for 1 to 3 inches. High tomorrow 32. Sunny and 25 on Sunday. Sunny and 30 on Monday. And then a slight chance of snow again on Tuesday with a high of 20. 18 in Madison, 14 in Green Bay, 20 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Now for the host that's always on the upswing, Jeff Sherman.
Now, to business, gentlemen.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. It's Super Bowl weekend, and we're ready here on the Upswing. A full show looking at not only the ads, but what is the economy around the game all about? Buying and selling snacks, buying and selling TVs, even the economic impact on the hyper-local level in New Orleans. What's it mean from a sports betting lens? We can't bet on our phones here in the state of Wisconsin, but that could be changing in the years, maybe even the months ahead. That ball is moving down the field for sure. Bobby Kraft is the founder and CEO at Atlas World Sports. Bobby is going to join us in the second half of the show to talk about his business, obviously the impacts of Super Bowl on sports betting, but how can Wisconsin move the flag down the field in terms of getting sports betting legal on our phones? Bit of breaking news here. There's a local Wisconsin-based business that's walking distance from our studio here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee, that's going to be featured in an ad during the big game. How cool is that? Wisconsin Cheese Mart is one of the 50 small businesses featured in the Google Workshops ads. Now, these campaigns are running right now on YouTube and other social platforms, but here's the deal. The campaign comprises 50 local TV ads. They're going to air in their respective markets during Super Bowl 59. There's a cattle ranch in Nebraska. There's a sign maker in Illinois. There's an architect in Massachusetts. There's a climbing gym in Utah. And, of course, as Google's looking at, hey, who uses our AI? Who uses our systems? It's got to be cheese related here in the great state of Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Cheese Mart is featured in the Google Workspace ads that will debut in the Super Bowl on Sunday. Really cool thing. I'm hoping to have Kenneth McNulty, who is the owner of the Wisconsin Cheese Mart, join us via phone. We're waiting to connect with him. Hopefully we will. If not, again, breaking news here. Wisconsin Cheese Mart will be featured in the Super Bowl in the Google Workspace ads. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
Authorities believe she's with a 40-year-old guy, got her pregnant, and they are on the run.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
So apparently she was using various phones, electronic devices to talk to this man from Arkansas.
Tune in to Wisconsin's afternoon news, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
Are you ready to embark on a voyage like no other? At Fox World Travel, our specialty cruise desk creates unforgettable cruise experiences just for you. Explore the serene Mediterranean, the exotic Caribbean, or the breathtaking beauty of Alaska. We partner with top cruise lines including Celebrity, Holland America, Royal Caribbean, and Viking. Enjoy personalized itineraries, exclusive deals, and expert guidance. From booking to boarding, we manage all the details for a stress-free experience. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO, press 2, and mention code radio to start planning.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. You business owner, I got a perfect way for you to freshen up your business. How about a fresh coat of paint? Call your neighborhood CertaPro painter. Ask about their color consultation services. I use CertaPro. They're the best. They're affordable. They're efficient. They do things the right way. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Homeowners, this is the way to freshen up your house like we did. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. That's the guys I trust. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, getting you ready for Super Bowl weekend and the big game on Sunday. David Hannikin is a teaching instructor of strategic communication at Marquette University, former creative director and ad agency owner. Back in the day, I'll give you this personal story here. Dave and I worked together at Hoffman York and Compton, the agency was called then. Shared some duties around Yamaha water vehicles, the Wave Runner account. That was a lot of fun, Dave. We didn't get to do a Super Bowl ad together, but some of those photo shoots in Destin, Florida, that was a good time.
Oh, my God, that took you're taking me back. But, yeah, I mean, that's the fun part of advertising, right? Some of these things related to your production and where you get to travel. And, oh, man, those are fun days.
Yeah, without a doubt. So I want to talk about Super Bowl ads, obviously. This is a kind of a baseline question for you, but what makes a Super Bowl ad truly effective? What do you want the viewer to feel?
Well, certainly it's got to connect. The brand has to connect with the target audience, right? I mean, this stuff is still very academic, and as far as like, what's the message you want people to take away? Who you got to know who your target audience is. The Super Bowl, though, like, it's weird because a lot of the rules get thrown out because you have half the country watching. You know? Yeah. So there's an old expression in the business like, why use a rifle when you can drop a nuclear bomb on and you can get everybody? Mm-hmm. So, but if you're a brand and you have a very specific target audience that you want to reach, you have to weigh these things out. Will it be effective? Will it work? And I think the rule of thumb, I think, for Super Bowl advertising is, and this is a debate that happens every year, is it worth $8 million for 30 seconds?
Exactly.
And the rule of thumb that at least I've followed and I've learned over the years and having worked on Super Bowl spots, it's a really great opportunity if you are introducing a new product and or a new company, new advertiser.
Right. Because you have a huge audience and it's an easy way to blanket.
Right. Reintroducing a product is another way to utilize it. And of course, if you want to drive traffic to a website, for instance, I mean, there's examples of this all over the place. But I think, one could say, well, what about a company like Ford? Okay.
Right.
So we've all heard of Ford.
Exactly.
Why would they want to buy the Super Bowl? But in reality, if they're going to introduce a new truck, right, it's perfect.
Yeah.
But if they're just going to run a generic branding ad, I don't know if I'd advise it.
Well, you look at, you look at something like the Google Workspaces ad, and what I think is special about the Google effort and their media buying strategy is that no state is overlooked, right? They're a partner with local businesses. It's not necessarily about the Google brand. It's about, hey, how can we talk about our partners who are doing the work with our products? So it's a little bit more humane, maybe a better portrait of the people who are fueling the economy. Is that an approach that big companies take?
I think it's brilliant because if you think about, as I said earlier, what you really, at the end of the day, a Super Bowl ad is no different than an ad that runs at any other time of the year. You, as a marketer, you want to make sure that the target audience relates to the ad.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're Google and you're going to find a local company, a local merchant, like who did you say?
It's Wisconsin Cheese Mart
Yeah.
is the Wisconsin-based business that will be featured in their ad.
So Google is automatically building that into the message, and it's making people in this area. It's a very targeted ad. Everyone's going to be like, oh, my God, Google has isolated Wisconsin. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really great for us.
Yeah. In your agency days, how do companies measure the impact? Is it about brand recall? Is it impressions? Is it buzz? Is it call to action? Like, how do you ultimately, you're making an investment. How do you want to then review that investment?
So there's a couple of ways. One is the obvious is sales, but or we refer to it as brand lift, right? A great way to measure it is website visits. There are examples of brands that have, like literally their websites crashed after running something on the Super Bowl. A lot of online chatter. I mean, everything leads to engagement. And the world of the Super Bowl ads has really changed since the amount of, if you look at people who they're previewing, they're teasing ads. People are going online.
What are your thoughts on that? To roll out, do you preview the ads or don't you preview the ads? Should they run on social beforehand, or is there kind of a hybrid model now that companies are looking at?
Yeah.
Yes, all the above. Yes. There's no wrong answer to how you want to showcase, right?
Really, it depends because there's a lot of old school thinking out there that back in the day it was like, oh my God, you protected your ad. Like if that thing got out before Super Bowl Sunday, like heads were rolling.
Right.
Right. And then people started to tease it out a little bit. You see it like last year, there was one of the more popular ads was with Michael Cera, the actor, for CeraVe. Now, they rolled that thing out with teasers a week ahead of time. There was 100 million views online of the teasers that they did. So when the spot finally airs during the Super Bowl, everybody's like, oh my God, everyone be quiet. This is great. I've seen this, or I've seen part of it. So there's a familiarity with it.
Yeah.
But other brands are like, nope, we're not doing it. We're going to just release it.
But at the same point, someone is always seeing that ad or that impression for the first time. And that, as a creative director, you have to keep in mind when you are putting together the ad. And when we come back, that's what I want to talk to you about. The creative process for putting together a Super Bowl ad. Does that differ from a standard ad? We're talking with Dave Hannikin from Marquette University. The process, the creativity behind Super Bowl advertising. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
The only place to get this.
Gets to Lopez. He checked three left wing. Why not? Brooke Lopez unconscious in the first quarter.
With some of this.
You don't really know how it's going to hit you until it comes and you realize Chris Middleton's gone. He is without question one of the 5 greatest players in franchise history.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show with Justin Garcia and Brandon Snide. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Heartbreak Officer Brian Wickert. While national headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, that's still not the case in most of Wisconsin. The good news is that now, even in winter, Accunet's experienced loan consultants are already helping many of our pre-approved home shoppers become homeowners and avoid the heartbreak of losing in a multi-offer situation. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that also might come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. When an appraisal is needed, we can also show you in dollars and cents what it means to willingly pay a certain dollar amount over the appraised value if that's what's needed to win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Have you been to the Hounds and Tap yet? In Menominee Falls, this state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the indoor-outdoor tavern, let your dogs hang out. You can even book professional grooming services, from pedicures to full spa treatments. Every day is a play day at the Hounds and Tap. Hang out with your dog and others, or drop your dog off for doggy daycare or doggy boarding services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined in studio by Dave Hannikin. Dave is a teacher at Marquette University, former ad agency creative director. So, Dave, we're looking at kind of a record high of $8 million for Super Bowl ads for 30-second spots. Last year, we were looking at about $7 million. So, obviously a huge investment from companies. What does the creative process look like to put an ad together?
So, honestly, it's not any different than any other campaign you're doing. You have to understand, like, okay, very technical things, very rudimentary things, like how big is our budget? Can we afford, this director or that production company? And, oh, by the way, it's a Super Bowl, so should we get a celebrity? Everybody likes celebs, right? So those things all factor into it. Oftentimes, too, the Super Bowl ad is just 50%, half of it. You may have your campaign launch with a teaser ad the week before. Then you have the Super Bowl ad. And then you go after that. You're doing some things that are extensions of that particular message, but you're still, you want an idea that's strategically sound. A lot of times people make the mistake of just hiring a celebrity for celebrity's sake, and it's kind of it kind of depends on does that person align with your brand.
I mean, to that point, what are some of the common mistakes that you've seen in Super Bowl ads through the years? Is it failing to kind of capture the moment that's happening in the greater economy, or what is it?
I think the mistake most people make is they think a celebrity is an idea, right? Okay. And all that hiring a celebrity is all that really is an execution. So in the perfect world, if you're going to bring in a celebrity, and that always garners a lot of attention, at least make sure they align with your brand. So, for instance, if you're Corona beer and you have Snoop Dogg, it's like, okay, that's chill. He represents that lifestyle and that vibe. I think last year people remember Arnold Schwarzenegger for State Farm. Yeah. Like a good neighbor. Like, there was no more fun way to put your tagline out there to the world. And this year I saw a teaser ad for Ritz Crackers, and they're doing something about, the people who are salty. and they're connecting it to salty actors. So they have Aubrey Plaza and Michael Shannon, and and they're in the salt flats. So people who are salty connect to the brand. But if you just hire somebody, a celebrity for celebrity's sake, it's kind of a waste.
Right. You have to have the proper execution. This year, I saw Eugene Levy's trademark eyebrows are going to fly off for Little Caesars. You're going to have a tongue that's going to dance with Shania Twain for Nestle's Coffee Mate Cold Foam. And then I think, obviously, mayonnaise company Hellmann's has done a good job of promoting the Meg Ryan, Billy Crystal reunion from When Harry Met Sally. Although that movie is from 1989.
Right.
So do you have to be generational in terms of how you look at from a demographic standpoint when you're putting together ads?
Well, let's stick with Hellmann's mayonnaise, that example with Harry Met Sally. That's a brand that people of all ages buy. So maybe if you weren't familiar with that film and you saw the ad, you might say, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
If you were familiar with the film, you'd be like, oh, I remember that, right? And the punchline, of course, I'll have what she's having is in there. And
exactly.
We all saw it coming, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it kind of depends. Again, it depends on every brand. But if you want to bring in celebrities and have some fun and people want to talk about this, another mistake people make is, and I've heard these stories about friends of mine who worked on Budweiser, like back in the day when Budweiser ads were the best, in my opinion. They were so funny, especially the Bud Light stuff.
Super creative, on brand, talked about the product, but had that talkability factor.
And that was it. I mean, August Bush was famous for just approving things and hiring, green lighting ads just because he wanted people at the club, the Polo Grounds, the next day say, hey, I saw that ad in the Super Bowl. So sometimes there's a lot of analytics and a lot of data that goes into it, and other times it's just somebody going like, hey, that's funny, I want to run it.
Yeah. So what do you think we'll see for trends in creative this Sunday?
I think it's going to be a lot of more of the same. There's going to be a lot of celebrities. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at people maybe even driving traffic to, their websites or what have you.
AI, health and wellness in terms of the category?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, here's just stepping back for a second. If you consider this, there's, the largest group of advertisers is snack foods. Then you have beer, and then you have food products.
Right.
So in effect, and you mentioned this up front, there are brands that can tie into that. So for instance, if you are knowing that 1.5 billion wings are consumed during the Super Bowl, if you're Tyson Chicken or Wingstop, are you like, you got to plan ahead for this. Also, 1,200 calories on average are consumed just on junk food on that day.
Yeah.
So if I'm an advertiser, I might run an ad for Planet, if I'm Planet Fitness, or if I'm Ozempic, or if I'm Weight Watchers. Like, you can connect your message to the lifestyle.
A lot of variables in the Super Bowl advertising space for sure. Dave Hannikin from Marquette University. I appreciate your deep dive and insights this morning. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A group of Democrats tried to get into the Department of Education this morning in Washington. They found the doors locked. That department, the latest target of DOGE, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. President Trump and Musk's buyout offer to about 2 million federal employees put on hold until at least Monday by a federal judge. Health experts say there's little risk to the public, but bird flu has been detected in New York City.
After inspectors found 7 cases of bird flu at live poultry markets in New York City in the last week, Governor Kathy Hochul announced,
we're issuing a notice and order to temporarily shut down all live bird markets in New York City, as well as in Westchester, Nassau, and Suffolk counties.
The order lasts for 1 week, and all markets will require a state inspection before they're allowed to reopen. Brian Clark, ABC News.
The Super Bowl this weekend could set records for gambling as more states legalize sports betting. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. Man charged in the death of a toddler from Two Rivers in court today. Jesse Vang faces multiple charges connected to the death of Elijah Vu. The Manitowoc District Attorney has said the state will have an offer to resolve Vang's case to his attorney today. Vang served as the caretaker for Vu before the child's disappearance and death in 2024. Vu's mother, Katrina Bauer, also being charged with 2 felonies connected to her son's death. She'll be back in court Wednesday. A Poinet couple suing pharmacy benefits management company Optum RX for raising the price of their son's asthma medication from $66 to $500. 22-year-old Cole Schmidtneck died from an asthma attack after they said he couldn't afford a refill. His parents say the company violated Wisconsin law by raising the cost of the medication without a valid medical reason and failed to provide 30 days advance notice of drug price increases. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is down 244 points at 44,502. NASDAQ is down 202 points at 19,589. S&P 500 down 37 points at 6,046. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We have a disabled vehicle off right. This is going to be I-41 94 South at Layton Avenue. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sun and clouds today, high of 30, mostly cloudy and 25 tonight. Light snow tomorrow with less than an inch south of 94, an inch to 3 inches north of the freeway. High tomorrow 32, sunny skies Sunday and Monday. Sunday's high 25, Monday's high 30, and then a slight chance of snow again on Tuesday with a high of 20. 18 in Madison, 14 in Green Bay, and 20 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true, but offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online. I read that black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, getting you ready for Super Bowl Sunday. On the phone is Kenneth McNulty. Kenneth is the owner of the Wisconsin Cheese Mart right here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Kenneth, how are you this morning?
Great. Thank you very much for having me on the show, Jeff.
Of course. So, how does this all happen? Like, you are going to be featured in a Google Workspace ad during the Super Bowl. Talk about the process and kind of how it all came about.
Well, we've been working with Google since 2017. We were named Google Wisconsin Business of the Year, and ever since then, they've been very supportive of us, our small business. Basically, because We're in Wisconsin and we sell cheese, so it's not a bad connection.
They hit on all the key points there. That was an easy one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was very easy. So they continue to contact me and be involved with a lot of things that they do. I was in DC last year also. So they're very supportive of us, and it's been a great ride.
So how are you leveraging? So essentially, the spot is going to highlight Google's AI and how you use it in your operations. How is that happening, and how are you using AI to impact and grow your business?
So the beauty is, back in 2003 when we bought the company, it was just a small store right next to Usinger's on 3rd Street.
Yeah.
And beauty with e-commerce it's that we can broaden our horizon. Anyone that has internet access basically can buy from us.
Mm-hmm.
So this ad, they'll see it throughout Wisconsin. They'll be able to see the ad and then immediately go online and go in Wisconsin. Oh, I can buy that aged cheddar or that Carvalli cheese that I've always wanted, and I don't have to go to the store.
Yeah,
we know everyone is on it.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the micro and the macro kind of coming together at the same time. And that's what you're doing with this. Like, you're able to showcase your business on a global scale, but still hit people on a local level with e-commerce or whatever it is. Are you ready for the extra demand? Do you have like extra protocols and processes in place?
We just came out of Christmas, so we're pretty good at we scale up massively. So we still have a lot of cheese, so we're able to handle, I think, a big spike in demand also. So it shouldn't be a problem because we have done this for a few years, so we know how to handle spikes.
Very good.
So it shouldn't be a problem.
Kenneth, do you know when the spot is going to air? Do you have a specific time, and do you have a viewing party set at the Cheese Mart?
We don't have one set.
Okay.
We don't know what time. We don't know. I'm going to go to see the game at probably my sister's house. I don't think we're going to do it downtown, but it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But we don't know exactly what time during the game it's going to happen.
Well, no matter what team you're cheering for, I'm going to be cheering for local Wisconsin-based companies that are part of the big game. So congratulations. Have fun this Sunday. Kenneth McNulty is the owner of Wisconsin Cheese Mart, debuting in one of Google's spots in the big game on Sunday. Kenneth, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate it.
All right. Joining us in studio is Bobby Kraft. Bobby is the founder and CEO of Atlas World Sports. I have a thing with my son that we do at home, Bobby. We bet on sports only on holidays. Now that said, we can kind of create our own holidays if we want. You know, it's a Friday. Let's do it. But we all know that Super Bowl Sunday is a holiday, and people are probably putting down a few fun bets. It's a betting bonanza, without a doubt. A lot of states have embraced the sports betting wave on the mobile platforms. Wisconsin's been a little bit more cautious, maybe on the sidelines a bit. But Atlas World Sports, for the last 4 years, you've been building a company, a sports technology company that is providing this platform for not only content, but to aggregate all of our sports bets. Tell us all about Atlas.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be here. On behalf of Atlas World Sports, we're proud to first of all say we're halfway through our Series A round, so it's great to be able to be here and talk about that on a holiday weekend.
Yes.
And I would argue that perhaps Monday would be more important to be the holiday based on what most people partake in on Super Bowl
That is
Sunday.
true. That is true.
But really what we are, think of the Expedia for sports books. That's Atlas World Sports. And then we bring so much more to it. We have artificial intelligence where we're going to help predictions for the games for our users. And then we've been building out a new daily fantasy platform that will be launched here in the second quarter of this year. And that gives us an opportunity to play in markets such as California and Texas, which are still, not legal for sports betting.
Yeah.
However, 39 states have legalized thus far. Missouri was the latest. They will be coming online here most likely in March. But with the state of Wisconsin here, my home base, Milwaukee, great city, and we're hoping Wisconsin can get through eventually with the legislation. However, it really comes down to the tribal compact that was signed into law, I believe, 2004, Doyle. So there are a lot of politics to work through, but
Right.
they'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Well, when we come back from the break, I want to talk about that path here in the state of Wisconsin to legalize sports betting from a mobile standpoint, what it looks like, what you've seen in other states, and talk about the responsibility of gaming and just being a good partner to users and operators. Obviously, the industry from sports betting demands that regulatory compliance, and the reputation of companies and the people involved is incredibly important. There's a lot that goes into the big game. We're talking with Bobby Kraft from Atlas World Sports. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Menards has everything you need for your next big project. Update the lighting in your garage or workspace with our great selection of utility lighting options. The High Bay light features a 5,000 Kelvin color temperature, wet rated, and a long life over 100,000 hours, so you'll have light for whenever you need. Get the 11 inches High Bay light for $89.99. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for more great deals.
Save big money at Menards.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank has been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Your financing requests, they can be approved in days. You don't have to wait weeks because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand, providing top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, they get the job done. Together, doing good, that's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
The American Heart Association has a goal of doubling the survival of cardiac arrest by 2030. During Heart Month, they're encouraging everyone to do their part. In order to save more lives from the 350,000 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests that happen every year, we must increase the number of people who respond to cardiac arrest by calling 911, delivering CPR, and using an AED as soon as possible. And that's why we want to turn bystanders into lifesavers, so that in the time of a cardiac emergency, anyone, anywhere is prepared and empowered to provide life-saving hands-only CPR. In just 2 steps, calling 911 and pushing hard and fast in the center of the chest, the beat of a song, with 120 beats per minute, you can become that lifesaver. This year's Heart Month theme is Your Child is Your Whole Heart. And we want every parent to know CPR so you are ready when you bring your baby home, ready as your child grows, and ready when it matters most. CPR, especially if performed immediately, could double or triple a person's chance of survival. For adults and teens, hands-only CPR can double or even triple the chance of survival. For infants and children, CPR must include breaths. Cardiac arrest accounts for 10 to 15% of sudden unexpected infant deaths. Less than half of people who experience cardiac arrest receive CPR from people nearby while waiting for emergency responders to arrive. Women are less likely to receive CPR from a bystander. American Heart Month includes Wear Red Day on February 7th, Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week from February 7th to the 14th, and Black History all month long. Listen to Wisconsin Afternoon News on February 14th for valuable info about kids' heart health and CPR from Milwaukee American Heart Association Executive Director Katie Connolly and current Milwaukee AHA Board President Dr. Joy Lincoln of the Medical College of Wisconsin and Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. Learn more and find a CPR class at heart.org/nation.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Sports betting in focus for the big game on Sunday. I got to tell you, I love the Potawatomi Sportsbook at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. I mean, truly nice, expanded. This will be their first Super Bowl, obviously, this year. Forest County, Potawatomi is one of 6 federally recognized tribal nations in the state that had sports betting operations up and running now. But having a way to bet on mobile devices is still elusive. You can't do it here in the state of Wisconsin. It would make it easier, and you got to keep it responsible for sure. So Bobby Kraft joins us in studio to talk about his company, Atlas World Sports, and their push to mobile gaming. So given that expanded sports betting beyond tribal gaming would require, of course, amending the state constitution, Bobby, what strategies are your companies and others looking at to kind of navigate these limitations?
Yeah, I wish I could say that we were involved in the Wisconsin political scene to get things moving quicker, but it's a much bigger undertaking than we have the stomach for or the resources for. So we're going to let the professionals handle that on the lobby side, et cetera. But we're really focused on the other states. I had to create the headquarters for Atlas World Sports in Chicago. Because Illinois immediately, Governor Pritzker jumped on it and said, yep, we're in. So after May of 2018, the city of Chicago, once we started moving forward with Atlas World Sports, I came up with the concept shortly after the sports betting, legalization when PASPA was repealed in May of 2018. By the time we were launching, folks from city of Chicago said, look, put it here.
Yeah.
We got you.
So that's your headquarters.
So, yeah, but I want to have a co-headquarters. I want Milwaukee and Chicago. So I have an office down on Wacker. That's our main headquarters.
Okay.
And then we have one here in Cathedral Square as well. So I'm an Amtrak frequent flyer, if you will,
right.
and proud of it. That, I really think my ultimate goal is both the city of Chicago and the city of Milwaukee really think of themselves as one.
Yeah.
I think we're opposite bookends with the same library between. And, if we think of this region, this corridor, all the way that Lake Michigan, Chicago to Milwaukee with Racine and Kenosha in between, I think that's the international flair that is good for the whole region. So hopefully Atlas can play a part in it.
Yeah.
So we've really been focused on the other states, and we're partnered with all the legal sports books, MGM, FanDuel, DraftKings, ESPN Bet. And the like, anything, Hard Rock, et cetera. And then we're partnered with all the leagues from the NFL all the way down to UFC. So we can do name, image, likeness. We can show, any live scores, stats, analytics, anything you're getting from any other type of source. But then also we have so much more where we sync our users' accounts through Atlas World Sports. So they don't have to open up every instance once they're synced.
So you can load all your accounts in one platform and see
right.
all the information from one
That's right.
device.
And we also track their deposits. So if they have $1,000 sitting in their Caesars account, they have $500 sitting in FanDuel and $250 in ESPN Bet. They can see all that cumulatively and their wins. We track all of it across the board.
Yeah.
So it really becomes a single source entry point. And, partner to all of them. And then we're also looking out for the users all along the way from responsible gaming you were talking about. It's very important we help get them all of the best betting information before they make a decision.
Right.
So if we can get them a point extra on a different book, that's good for them. And it's fine for the books because they ultimately want 50% of the money on one side of the ledger and 50% of the other by the time a kickoff happens.
And taking that regional approach to the economic development opportunity. I mean, right now, Wisconsin residents, let's be real, are crossing state lines to place bets in Illinois or Iowa, Michigan, potentially driving revenue out of the state. So we got to look big picture in terms of how we move this forward. Yeah, you got to be cautious, but at the same time, there's revenue to be gained from the state of Wisconsin's lens.
Yeah, I am absolutely a Wisconsinite. My wife, Marnie, is a Wisconsinite. She's home with our baby boy, Robert Ronan Kraft. Ronan.
All right.
So thank you, Marnie, for giving me the time to do this. She's been the real MVP. So you talk about MVPs in sports. She's the true MVP. But we are Wisconsin. She was born and raised in Racine, and we want nothing more than to create tech jobs in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's ultimately the goal.
Very good.
Is to create an incredible ecosystem for all of this.
Awesome. Bobby Kraft from Atlas World Sports. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jeff.
Have a great Super Bowl weekend. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Thank you.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for you. Join me Saturdays at 1 for Experience Wisconsin. We will check in with communities across the state, the best, the brightest, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, from north to south. We have got you covered all across our great state. This week, I'm jazzed. We're talking to Visit Kenosha and also Waupun Ice Fest. We'll take you to both locations, let you know what you need to know to have a fantastic weekend. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle until I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Heartbreak Officer Brian Wickert. While national headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, that's still not the case in most of Wisconsin. The good news is that now, even in winter, AccuNet's experienced loan consultants are already helping many of our pre-approved home shoppers become homeowners and avoid the heartbreak of losing in a multi-offer situation. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that also might come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. When an appraisal is needed, we can also show you in dollars and cents what it means to willingly pay a certain dollar amount over the appraised value if that's what's needed to win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at AccuNet.com. That's AccuNet.com.
David Nason here, your trusted Fix-It Show guy, here to give you some essential home maintenance advice. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, cracks in your basement, it's time to call the experts I trust at Accurate Basement Repair. They've fixed many of our listeners' basements, and the results were fantastic. Dry, secure, and peace of mind restored. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. Call them today.
Thanks, David. Accurate Basement Repair. We're not just good, we're accurate.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. You can still watch the game on Sunday, but you can head to the beach here in Milwaukee on Saturday. Winter Break Milwaukee is a winter festival meant to coax people out of hibernation and into the outdoors. It's a little chilly out there today, but we're hardy Wisconsinites. We're going to get to the beach on Saturday. Organizer and founder of Winter Break Milwaukee, Kate Pochansk, joins us on the phone. Kate, thanks for taking the time.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. So give us all the details about the event on Saturday, how it came together, and kind of tell us the origin story of Winter Break Milwaukee.
Well, the backstory is in 2023, I had heart surgery to correct a congenital heart defect. And when I was coming out of surgery, my husband was chatting with me, like making sure everything was okay. And I was like, very up on the morphine at that time, and I was like, we're going to do the winter festival thing. And he was like, okay, sure. and then as I continued healing up from heart surgery,
a little health trauma comes a creative idea.
Yeah, I think so. I've been talking about it for years, and he knew exactly what I was referring to, but it was just like, I don't know, maybe something about feeling like, oh my God, I almost died. It was like, I have to do this. And so, yeah. I think he kind of thought it would go away, though. But as I healed up, I just kept talking about it more and more. And then about 100 days later, I put on the first Winter Break Milwaukee. So that was at South Shore Park last year. This year we'll be at Bradford Beach. We'll have some of the same activities coming back and then a few new ones. So some of the ones we did last year was winter biking and Nordic walking. But this year we are also going to have winter surfing. We're going to have dog sledding. So last year we let people meet the dogs. This year you'll be able to meet them as well, but they're actually going to be doing dog sledding on the beach. We'll have a cold dip again. That one was popular last year. There's a group of like very cold hardy people that dump
That's
themselves.
at 2 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
And then, we'll have fires on the beach and doing some bird watching, some tea tasting, and some sand sculpting.
All right. I love it. So Winter Break Milwaukee this Saturday from 12 to 4 at Bradford Beach. Kate, one other thing, you're going to offer a chance to take selfies in front of that boat that's been washed up on at Bradford Beach for a long time.
Yeah, it's a deep thought. Milwaukee boat.
Very good. All right, Winter Break Milwaukee this Saturday at Bradford Beach. I appreciate your time. Have a great event, Kate.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the big game. Wisconsin's Midday News is coming up next.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry,